Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk about something that's really, really serious. And it's in everything that, all the videos that I make, most all the videos I make, has something to do with this. And what it is, it's planting the seed of fear. And planting the seed of fear is a self-defense move. It really is. And but I want to go through it. It's used just like everything else. It can be used offensive or defensive. And I'm going to be talking about how to plant the seed of fear, but it's going to be in all levels of violence. And one will be in military. I'm going to talk about the military, how the military plants the seed of fear. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to cross some of what governments do, because planting the seed of fear will go as a one-on-one basis, or you can use it as a group, or you use it on a whole civilization. So it just depends on what it is that your goals are with this. And so like I say, we'll probably be talking about the government too. And then police, talk about how the police use plant the seed of fear. Gangs, bandits, this type of stuff. I guess in the United States y'all don't call them bandits, but anyway, gangs and robbers, bad guys, whatever you want to call them. And then we'll even go to what I do, and that's at the personal level. And like I say, I use I plant the seed of fear. It doesn't make any difference if I'm on an individual to individual level or an individual to a group. So it doesn't make any difference. Whatever my threats are, I always, if I have time, I will go to plant a seed of fear. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. Planting the seed of fear at all levels of violence. Okay. I hope you've had a chance to go to my counterterror blog, and you're going to find some restricted videos in there, and it'll be on crappy Vietnam War stories. And right there I share a lot of my experiences in Vietnam, and after you see that, it'll reflect a lot on why I'm the way I am. So even it's funny, my wife, she was Chinese, and she was from Guatemala, where I'm at now, Guatemala. And she really didn't know what a Marine was. She knew what the military was, because the military they ransack and they just terrorize everybody down here. And so she knew what the military was, but she wasn't quite sure what a Marine was. And after years of marriage, she finally told me that I need to tell people that I'm a Marine. Before I do anything, tell people I'm a Marine. So in other words, she figured out that the Marines did something to me that made me unique when it comes to violence. And so see, that's where I got the little emblem on my hat, and on my car I put the Marine symbol on there and stuff like that. She said she didn't think it was right for me to, when I get in violent situations, to do what I do when these people have no idea what happened to them. And so then she says I need to warn them what's going on. And so, in other words, the Marines have had over 200 years. The Marines are older than the United States itself. And the Marines have had a long time to be known for their skills and abilities. And they're well respected throughout the world. and from other militaries. A lot of people don't even know what Marines are, but militaries, they pretty much know what the Marines are. And so I give warning. That I'm a Marine and what to expect. So, in other words, military, they plant the seed. And everybody, when they plant the seed, they're planting the seed so then that's less likely that they will have to resort to violence. If they can scare you, then you will be more cooperative. And then once you're more cooperative, then it's a lot easier to get things done. Okay. If you get a chance to watch the Marine drill team, you will see they're good. They're good. And they work together, they function good together, they look good. This is what the military uses to plant the seed. They look good. Look at the dress blue Marine uniform. I mean, that's a sharp looking uniform. I mean, you look good when you wear that uniform. You gain respect just by the looks. And so that's why uniforms are very important in the military. They have uniforms, they look good in their uniform. What do they say? A man in uniform looks so good. That's what they do. They got all the padding in the right spot and stuff like that, so you look good. Because like I say, that's part of planting the seed. You have to look good. And when you work together as a team, then it makes you look more organized. And more organized makes it look like you're more fearful. So the appearance is a very big thing in the military for planting the seed. It could be close to planting the seed for respect or planting the seed of fear, but it doesn't. They're really close to the same. In leadership in leadership, I've learned there's two ways of leadership. You get it through fear, or you get it through respect. Fear, you will get people to obey orders real quick because they're scared. Respect, it takes time to get respect from others. But once you get this respect, then these people will follow you through hell. Once they really respect you. This is one of the things I noticed my time in Vietnam. Rank had nothing to do with who gave the orders in Vietnam. It was the one you respected. Now, you either respected them because of respect, or if you didn't know them too good, they'd whip the shit out of you. And so then you respected them because they're a badass. So, but either way, in combat, you don't have time to question my orders, and so it was a little different. The police planting the seed of fear in the population that they are to protect or control. I don't know. To me, you go by the tactics of the seeds of fear, the way they plant their seeds of fear. That tells you if you're being controlled or if you're being protected. And that's still up to everybody's own decisions on how that goes. Some people will look at a roadblock and say, "Oh, isn't that nice? They're keeping the drunks off the road so my family doesn't get hit by a drunk driver." So that's one way of looking at it. And if you've seen my videos, I've talked about being stopped looking for drunks. I don't drink. So if I don't drink and they're looking for drunks, then that means I must be nothing, and they just let me go right on by. And as we know, nowadays things don't go that way. Now we are looked at, every one of us, every time you are stopped, you are considered a bad guy. Now what they have to figure out is what bad thing have you done. And that's part of planting the seed. When they do these roadblocks, they're stopping us, they're getting us used to the idea that they are in control. Okay? That's planting the seed. And there was a day when I thought everything was great, but like I say, those days are past already. But now I think it's funny when they turn on their light, they're behind you and you're driving along, they turn on their light, and you stop because you're courteous? Is that why you stop? Or do you stop because if you don't stop, they're going to kill you? Well, try not stopping, and you're going to find out. So in other words, when they do this type of stuff, they're planting the seed of fear in you. When that light comes on, you're going to be scared. And that means you've learned. That light is and the siren is their seed of fear. I say, policemen and military, they don't get into a situation by themselves. They don't get into something unless they have support. And so in other words, before he turns on that siren, turns on that light, he's already radioed for help. He's already notified others where he's at and who he's stopping. Most of the time, they already know who you are before they stop you. They've already run the tag before they even stop you. But anyway, what they're doing is showing you that they have control. Showing you, remember, we're right back to just like the military. They've got the uniform, and it's funny, try to talk to a policeman on a one-to-one basis. Try. No, they won't. You're in a zoo, you're the animal, they're the zookeeper. They know you're an animal. They will not treat you like another human. They will not open up and talk to you human to human. It's funny because they will use courtesy. They act polite, and they will be real nice and stuff like that. And it's funny because they've learned they can get more from the public by being nice than ordering. Military, they kind of order you. Why? They got the bigger guns. What did I say? When the military puts a roadblock up, you're going to see a Humvee with heavy guns. So they don't need to be nice. Okay, the police, it's going to be the policeman in his car, and maybe there's going to be another 2 or 3 other cop cars, and they all have handguns. So they're going to be a little more pleasant. And then that's why they will ask. They don't tell you. And so in other words, could I see your driver's license, please? Okay. And then it'll be, could I search your car, please? This is funny. I just love it because so much stuff they do is unconstitutional, and it's just plain not right. But if they ask properly, we go along with it. And yeah, we'll let them search our car. And I thought it was funny. It's been, I don't know how many years ago. The last time that I was really, really cooperative. Now, I'm doing to them just exactly the way they do to me. They don't treat me like a human. I don't treat them like a human. So it's funny. I make them do things they don't want to do, such as I say, could I search your car? Do I have to let you search my car? I know I don't. I know they need a search warrant. So then I try to make them lie. Oh, now watch out. It's okay. We can't lie, but the police can lie. They can lie. So you got to watch that. That's something you got to watch for. But I say I'll do it like that, and talking to them, try to get them to communicate more. But the thing is, like I say, the seed of fear is what it is that they're trying to do, but trying to keep it at a level where it's not so obvious. I like it. They use non-lethal. They call this stuff non-lethal. Rubber bullets. You ever been shot with a rubber bullet? Don't tell me they're non-lethal. And what they're supposed to do is shoot the ground, and they're supposed to bounce up, is what the idea of what that stuff is. But, you know, accidents happen. So you got non-lethal like that. I don't know how many people have died from taser, and that's supposed to be non-lethal. So, but these are all things that they can do that plants the seed that you are at the disadvantage. You are going to lose. And these are the things that they use to plant that seed with. So non-lethal stuff still is just a way of putting out the seed of fear. Whether you're using tear gas, they got different kinds of tear gas. Some just got the tear gas, some put out fire, makes a fire to make the tear gas. So in other words, if they want to burn you out, they use the tear gas that catches on fire. And then they can say, it was an accident. So, but even if it is an accident, that seed of fear has been planted. Just like the military, the police work the same. They're trained. And the reason they train repetitiveness is so then they will do what they need to do at a certain time. And it's all set up where that's why when you see it, when someone gets shot, it's not one cop that shoots them. It seems like all the cops get a few shots in. And that's because they're all focused on the same thing, because they've all been taught the same. Now, military, they do things a little different. They try to get focus on the whole area, all completely around you. And only certain people do what they have to do, and then the rest make sure that the other stuff isn't coming. Police aren't quite, they're not trained that well, so they don't quite work the same. But that's why you end up seeing them all. And when they shoot you like a target. If you ever see the way police shoot, they have a certain stance, they hold the gun a certain way and stuff like that. That's because that's what they're trained. They have to do stuff like that. Not only liability, but it's they want everybody to be on the same page on what's going to get done. And this way, they all can use the same stories on what happened. And because they all have to protect each other. And we're right back to liability. So liability as each officer and liability for the department. Everybody's worried about liability. They're not so much worried about what they're doing, they're worrying about how to cover up what they did. So unlike some of us, like me, I do things and then ask for forgiveness if I'm wrong. Okay, police, they don't have that luxury. So what they do is they do their thing, and then when they're wrong, they cover it up. Military, they do it. A good military doesn't have to do that way. They have a good plan already lined out. And like I say, neither one of them will do anything until the time is right. And when the time is right, they move in, they do what they have to do.